I love this gentle little one. He's so tiny, but he's so cute. And the sound is so light and clear and soft. It's really nice. So we're going to have a discussion with Aura about aging. It's something that maybe it's my birthday yesterday who brought me to these reflections, but it's a lot about the process. It's very difficult even to put words on that process, and we're going to discuss about that and see. We had a nice exchange this morning with Aura about that, and I thought it would be really nice to share it. Hey, Aura.
Hi, Yasmina. Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes, yesterday was a very special day, wasn't it? Was it the longest
night?
Wait,
the
the longest?
year.
Yes.
The shortest day of the year. Yeah, it's very special.
It was.
Yeah.
How was it for you?
For me, I must say since like 2-3 days, I feel not tired. I feel the strong desire to sleep. And I slept a lot. I went to bed at 8 or 9 in the evening to 7 o'clock in the morning, sleeping really deep. I feel a pressure on my head. I guess it's what is going on with the solar flowers, that are really strong. Mm-hmm. And for me, it goes to my head because head is also a symbol of authority, and the sun is also authority. So, it's all about this connection with that. That is, I have a strong feeling that things are really changing in my body. Mm-hmm. Really. It's really like we had this exchange this morning. It is like I'm working on this show that I want to do. It's like 15 years I'm working on that, and maybe this year I'm going to be able to do it. I started to print it, and I'm working on old files from 15 years ago, and I saw pictures of me at that time, like 15 years ago, and I'm surprised because I was not seeing myself like that. Like I see the picture of me 15 years ago. Now I'm like discovering myself. Mm-hmm. Because 15 years ago, I was unable to see me like I was. It's really a strange feeling. So I notice in these pictures that my face is more round, more pimpled, like more, I have more flesh in a way. And I'm looking at that and I was thinking, where all this gone? And it's not a feeling of sadness, not at all, but it's like a mystery. I have the feeling that, and I work on the show that is called Primordial. Mm-hmm. It's nude in the desert. Mm-hmm. Worked in a special way in photography that bring to ancient archetypal times from the origins. Mm-hmm. And I looked at that and I'm like wondering, it's like losing that flesh. It's like slowly we disincarnated to reconnect, to go to the invisible world. It's like becoming invisible slowly, but it's not in a bad way. Like I said several times, I hear people say, oh, women, we are not invisible over 50. And no, me, in a way, I love to be more invisible. I love to be less noticed. I love to be, it's like, it's bringing me to be more toward my wholeness, my timelessness, my to connect with my invisible entity, who I am. The physical one is just a tiny part of who I am as entity. And looking at the pictures and working on that, it's like, you know, the work I'm doing, I'm melting in the landscape. I melt myself in the landscape, because we were speaking about nature, and as women, we have this intuition, and when we are connected to nature, everything is more simple and easy. And this in this show is what I want to see, the multidimensionality we are, and to translate that from the origins we are timeless. We are made of this dust, we are made of that earth, we are part of that, and we go back to that, you know, and this regenerate and grow again and change again, and we come and we are all round and, you know, like youthful, and after we shrink and things like become like more dry, like a dry resin. And it's like the disincarnation, the aging process through the body prepare us to go back to the invisible realm that we are from, that we are already in, but just a part. It's really weird. I have all this reflection about that in my head these days, and there is no feeling of loss. It's a feeling even of being more and more and more connected. And it's really a very strange process. This is,
you know, it's interesting when you were saying, Yasmina, that we become dry, and you know, I think of when we're at the age where we are able to conceive a child, which is called being very nubile. You know, you're when you talk about the plumpness in the face, it's the estrogen, it's all of the hormones that are pulsating through a young body, do you know? And when you talked about how we start to become more dry, and then you said even like a raisin, but then you know what came to my mind? That's what creates fine wine. You know, it comes from these grapes, and then what comes from a raisin, it's even sweeter, you know?
Oh yeah, this is very, it's really true. I feel much more sweet than when I was younger. When I was younger, I'm fire sign, so I was always very energetic, often intolerant, troubled, because as I am empathic, I can feel what could be great for people to feel better, but I was giving this in a way that was hurting them, because I was too, you know, direct and too intolerant. You have to do that to be good. You don't see you are like that because you do that, you don't do that, you know, like very. And now I'm like more, I feel more soft, and I love that. It feeds me. It's like feeling good to my soul to be softest, you know.
Yes.
And this doesn't mean that the warrior spirit is not there. It's still there, really strong, and I feel it really strong in my womb, really stronger even than at that time, because now it's more ensured. Now it's went low down. It's like the place giving birth in the body. It's now the anchor of my essence, and it's really strong. And it's a great feeling. It's really a feeling of being connected to the inner power, and to be able to be in a neutral place despite what is all around us.
Yes. We talked about it, you and I. You know, we were talking about it. I loved our conversation earlier. And in the last, you know, we've been talking about a lot of what's going on in the external world. You know, there's so much that is happening in the world, and the world has changed so much. And I thought, wow, there's so much of this more I want to say more of aggressive energies that are happening externally. And you just talked about something that's gentle within, that we want to really nurture and preserve as women, which is really a beautiful energy. And I do feel that it's connected to nature. And I am reminded that when the world feels very crazy to me and very chaotic, that the best place I can go to within myself as a woman is that womb within myself. A womb is not just a place to give birth. A womb is that place within. It's like our temple,
Yeah,
and it's so
it is.
beautiful to be able to go there.
It is the center of the aura, under the umbilic. It's really the place of power, of inner power, the place where I see now my voice is much deeper because it comes from down there. But when I was younger, my voice was so high pitch that I could not even stand to listen to my voice. I was not feeling good, but I didn't know why. I was too much in my head. I was in my body. And really amazing, because more age, less I have this, flesh that makes everything round, and and more I'm mentioned. It's really like a paradox. Like I
That's the
go.
word, Yasmina. I
Yeah,
think I think you said the right word. It's a paradox. It's like this interesting contradiction, because we think of ourselves, when you talk about looking at old photographs of yourself, even nude photographs, and I think of what are the things that remind us of our age? It's the way we look, and it's a number, an actual number that is our age. But there's something else that's going on deep within us that doesn't have anything to do with a number, and it doesn't have anything to do with looking at a reflection in the mirror. We can look at a photo of ourselves, like you looking at this beautiful photo of yourself naked, but you were sharing with me something that I think is interesting to talk about. Even when you do nude videos today, you do it very tastefully. You do it sunbathing on your deck in the desert with your baby monster, or
yeah,
your different beautiful birds that come and visit you. And let's talk a little bit. I want to talk about people's reaction to that. I want to talk about, like, why is it acceptable for women to show themselves naked when they are nubile
yeah,
and they are young? And yet when a woman wants to show herself naked at our age or even older than us, that's when I think judgment comes in. And yet we can see, women exploiting themselves, in a way that isn't even poetic or tasteful, but
yeah,
you show yourself poetically and there's criticism.
yeah. But what, me, it's sliding on me, because it's really, really interesting. I am studying with this bird. I am here, I shower outside still now. This winter is not so cold. I don't have the water frozen in the hose like last year in November. So I can shower the morning outside, and I take my time. Today it's not sunny. It's the first time we had rain in months. I can say in months. So it's gray. I love it. We had rain. And when it's sunny here, I take my shower. I'm there. I put my oil on my skin outside. The bird is coming. And when I am naked, I noticed he's more at peace. And last day I went hiking with a big sweater, and I came back and he was there, like, waiting for me. And he was like weird. And I gave him his treat, and I felt him like, and I realized it was because of the big sweater. And if I have reading glasses, he doesn't like it. If I have the phone, he doesn't like it. He's like agitated. He's like nervous. But when I'm naked, it's like I'm like him, like nature, like nothing that is against nature thing. And he's like staying beside me. Last day I was sunbathing. I don't even saw. He was just beside me sunbathing as well. And it's like, it's our natural state of being. Where is the problem? You know what I mean? It's like,
I'd like to explore that a little bit with you, because you're talking about a very natural state where you present yourself just completely natural. I have the same experience with my cat, who I'm very close to, Theo, who you've met.
Yes.
When I'm on my phone, he doesn't like it. When there's something, a barrier between them and us,
yes.
they don't like it because they want to feel close to
Yes.
us. They want to feel intimate and close, and they don't want the barrier. But I really do want to explore a little bit more about our own embracing of ourselves as we get older, and we see the changes that we see in ourselves and in our bodies, and a lot of the changes that we invariably will see as we age, and also society's projection onto women that are they, I feel it's the same thing with aging as it is with death. It's like these subjects are not comfortable for a lot of people. They're not comfortable there.
Yeah, there is a lot of fear. There is a lot of insecurity. There is a lot of, I think, fear even of the mystery that we are. Because when we show ourselves, me, I'm happy to be like I am today, even if I see my picture 15 years ago where I was more round and, I had a little bit less belly, but I'm skinnier in a way, but I have more belly now. It's like, the body is changing. My back became more wide because I'm breathing quite deeper now. So the back enlarged. The fact I'm leaving more my back in a way, but I'm more inhabiting my back in a way makes me be able to be more conscious, because the back is a place symbolically of the unconscious. So more you inhabit that part of your body, more is for that. In a lot of pictures, or my pictures, I show the back. The back is really the siege of unconscious, and more you bring light there, more there is consciousness in your life. More you breathe, what we do in yoga, more we breathe deeply with the back, more we bring light in that unconscious part of ourselves. And now, when I see pictures of me now naked and 15 years ago, it's very interesting because, sure, I could eventually be more beautiful before, what we call beautiful. But when I see the picture, it reconnects me to my state of consciousness at that time. And I prefer my state of consciousness now.
Oh, that's interesting, Yasmina. That's a really interesting point. I'd love to explore that with you, because our level of consciousness does change and it evolves as we become more seasoned, and we do grow into ourselves as women. And we could look at younger photos of ourselves and like maybe perhaps the way that we look. But as you said, we might recognize that our consciousness was not as expansive as it is today.
Yeah.
And we wouldn't trade that for anything.
Yeah, no. And it's really amazing. It's like we lose some flesh, but we get some more spiritual connection.
Absolutely. It's, it's true. I mean, it is about that. Wisdom does come with age. It does. And there's something about embracing that, even though we live in a society, we live in a culture that really doesn't celebrate aging. It doesn't celebrate us becoming even more conscious human beings. Do you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you and I talk about that a lot. We talk about frequency, raising our frequency, raising our energy, becoming more conscious human beings on the planet.
Yeah, yesterday I had this discussion with Christina Ram, and she spoke about a dream that she had recurrent since she was child. And this dream really symbolized that. When I was thinking of her dream yesterday, I realized that it's a manifestation of the part of ourselves, because it was this circle of women that was up there, wise woman, wisdom woman. And she was seeing these women up there, and after she was seeing her, down here like one of these women. And in fact, it's that. But this for me, and I told her, it's really what is going on. We have this part, we are multidimensional. So we have this part of this wisdom represented by older women that is up there, but it's a part of ourselves, a real part of ourselves who can see us and be connected with us here. And more, I have the feeling, more or less we are in with the flesh, and more we can be connected to the point that we're going to go in the other world one day.
Yes.
So we will be totally connected out of the flesh, you know? And it's like, it was like, yeah, I lose the flesh and I'm more connected to my bigger self.
So do you feel that we're in the body, and that's got a more of a grounded density to it because we're in the body. But I love that quote by French philosopher Pierre Teilhard de Chardin: we are spiritual beings having a human experience.
Oh, yeah.
We don't wake up and go, oh, hello, spirit. My spirit is inhabiting my body, and one day my spirit will leave this vehicle. Yeah. We get so bogged down, we get so heavy in the material world that I think we lose sight of the spirit.
Yeah, and when we have this consciousness, life is magical. Because we know, is what I said at the beginning of 2020 with the crisis. The good thing of this crisis is that it made people obliged to face their mortality. That a lot of people never thought about that or never want to face that. And when you, once and for all, you face you are mortal, and often sometimes it's things in the body who brought you to the fact that you are mortal when you have very strong experiences in the body. And that when this is really part of your reality, if I can say, life takes a total different turn. It's like so precious, and you know it's time limiting in the physical body, and you want to enjoy it as much as possible.
Right.
And you don't want to go in all this. And I think all human beings, every human beings, apart the one that are a little bit twisted, and there are quite a lot, twisted people that think only about war and this kind of thing. But basic human beings, what do they want? They just want to be at peace and happy and share with their people around them and just create beautiful things and share beautiful things. What else? What else?
Right. We're here for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
That's why getting bogged down with all of the drama and all of the chaos and all of the what seems like meaningless nonsense, and it robs us of the very essence that you and I love to talk about. It's the essence that we feel when we're connecting to Mother Nature. It's the essence that we feel when we're connecting to animals, when we're looking at a sunrise and a sunset. I'm looking at the clouds, real clouds. It looks like real clouds after the rain. And I know that when I connect to that, and again, coming back to woman, that we are so resonant to nature. She shows us who we are, the naturalness of who we are. And all this craziness has nothing to do with that.
Yeah, but we cannot not, and now we have the social network, social media and all that. We cannot also don't watch, because I think it's like watching with distance, because we cannot not be aware about what is going on in the world, because the fact to be aware I see these days, what I see breaks my heart. And the fact it breaks my heart, deep inside, it creates me a strong desire of another world. And we create with our mind connected to our heart. So what is going on that is given to us to see, it's also something that is necessary in the process of evolution spiritual evolution of the human race, we created these tools. And at the unconscious collective, we create the situations that are there for us to change, for the human race to change and go toward a more spiritual one. It's a difficult process to observe. It's very hurtful. It's very painful. A lot of people are suffering.
Yes.
But it is like these souls gave their sacrifice themselves for us to be able to desire something else, to say no to that, to be really like moved deep inside, to create with our mind, connected with our heart, something else. Because we created that, humanity created that. And it's like, I always speak about these two antagonist forces, but it's that more we have in mind that there are two poles really in conflict. And we see that, and we see how this translates in our daily life, in our relationship, in what is going on in the world. It's like this thing, this process is pushing through each of us to see that and decide deep inside, be really firm that we don't want that.
No.
And it's only when we gonna be no to that this is gonna create another way of these antagonist forces of life and destruction to relate differently. It's a long process. It's something that is so clear to me that I really have difficulties to express with words, but it's like this divine thing is pushing us to increase through pain. Unfortunately, it's still like that. But I'm very optimistic, and I think in time to come, I don't know if I will see it, but this is going to change really deeply.
Yeah, I think so. And, you know, I do think so much has happened in the last 3.5 years. We've gone through a lot of changes, and it has changed us. We've gone through so many changes that I feel like a different person. And I'm learning every day, how is this shaping me? How is this opening my heart? How is this making me more loving, more accepting, less judgmental? You know, what is it doing to me as a human being? You know, how are these changes that can be heartbreaking and very painful to watch what's going on in the world? We can react to it, which is fine. We have a right to respond and to react, but then I have to be with myself, and I have to go within, and I have to ask myself, what kind of changes is this producing in me? What kind of human being is this shaping me to be? Am I raising my frequency? Am I expanding my heart? Am I feeling more connected or more polarized? Do you know? We can look at the dominant, or you call the antagonistic forces on the planet. We can look at that, and we really have to ask ourselves, what is the relationship that we have with these forces, with these energies, and what is it creating within our own energy? That's very important to me, of how I stay fluid and how I keep evolving.
Yeah, when you were speaking now, I was thinking of something that happened, let's say, 30 years ago with myself. I had this terrible moment where I was half awake in my bed and stuck on my back, and like feeling like a big earthquake noise, rumble, you know, like in my ears. And I could not move, I could not scream, and I wanted to scream, and it was really, really hard. And I wake up after a moment, I could wake up, and I was like, and I I could feel in a way that I was possessed, you know, that but something inside of me knew it was not that. And life brought me to go in psychoanalyze. The first session, the first session, the night when this happened, I could scream. I screamed so loud. And that I understood that in fact, it was not something from the outside that was possessing me. It was something inside of me that was unable to flow properly because of my way to be, maybe too judgmental, too, intolerant, to that, too violent in a way. This violence was inside of me. When I discovered that, it has been a big turn in my life, because I was also seeing people say, oh, I am under the spell of this one. No, no, no. First, go and face yourself. Go deep inside and see where the energy is blocked, where it's not flowing, because of simply your behavior, even your way to think about yourself.
Right. Yes. Because we can be very judgmental and very critical and very harsh on ourselves.
And this has been a revelation. And I was like, wow, it was not coming from outside. It was right there. And I started to change and to be different, because after life brings you experiences, and the way you face them, you face yourself in these experiences, going also make you go into another step of that. It's but is that until what point what we see outside right now in this conflict shows us how much individually we have to change our way to relate even to ourselves, even if we did a lot of study and learning. And me, I'm like in a time, I'm like, wow, I'm really facing that there is a big part unknown of myself that I'm on the verge to discover. It's not really easy. It's not really pleasant to see outside of me what is going on. But I'm in a time of big investigation. I'm not really present, because I need this time to be with myself. And I think what is going on, it's obliged us even more than the beginning of the sanitary crisis. It's even more obliging us to be with ourselves.
Yes, Mina, that's a very important point, because one of the things that I feel, even going back to when we were, locked in our homes because of a so-called pandemic, we really had to be with ourselves, and that made a lot of people uncomfortable because they didn't want to be by themselves. And I thought, well, even though this is very unnatural and we're not meant to be locked up in our homes, we could really use that opportunity to go deeper within ourselves. A lot of people wanted to be distracted and they wanted to do all the things to get away from themselves. No, it's also an opportunity to go deeper within yourself. So we've had a very long time, 3.5 years, in a couple of weeks, we're going to be in 2024. We're in a whole new year. And what have we learned from this time? We've had great lessons over the last 3.5 years, tremendous lessons. We've been exposed to so much. We've seen so much. The veils are lifting every day. We're seeing so many things about life in the world and the truths about this life. What have we learned from it? Are we learning? This is an incredible time to learn and to wake up.
Yeah. I see for myself, I've never been interested very much in politics and history and all that. It was not my favorite field of study when I was younger. I prefer natural science of the body, geometry, art. This was what I liked, but not really all what was history and politics and economics was not really the thing I liked. But I see since more than 3 years, I became very interested in that. I listen a lot of podcasts about geopolitics because you try to understand how things are articulated,
Right.
and how they repeat, and how what it would be possible to chant, and how unconsciously I was also functioning that way or that way, and I was not aware of that. So I'm like relating, listening, all this about these things makes me discover more about unknown part of myself, because these were unknown from me. And in fact, I must say that actually right now it's the only things that really interest me. And because it's like, wow, why I never learn about that, why I never been interested about that. And because maybe it was not the time, you know what I mean? But
I feel the same way as you do. I never consider myself a political person. I don't really like politics, because politics is inclined to separate us. It's inclined to make us choose a party. You know, you're either on the right or you're on the left. You're a Republican, you're a Democrat, or you're an independent, or whatever you are. To label ourselves something politically, it doesn't feel resonant to me.
Yeah, because like a lot of our words, the word politics has been misleading people. Politics means to take care of the people. It doesn't mean to take party on one side or something like that. It became that, but it's for the good of the collective. It's discussing about issues that are in a country, or to discuss about this issue to find the better solution for the people of that country.
But it's become but we know, Yasmina, it's become very corrupt.
Yeah.
You know, it's full of corruption, and it seems as though it's designed to separate us from each other. It's designed for us to be controlled and to be dependent. And, you know, I think part of this learning, even as you know, we're talking about earlier about our own evolution as women and our own understanding of freedom, you know, because as you do age and you become wiser, you realize that you have agency over yourself and that you're really a free human being. And politics seems, and government and all those things that are my least favorite thing to talk about, it all feels to me very controlling.
Yeah.
And yet we're trying to be free of this.
But again, and this is my very optimistic way to see things all the time, again, it's what is necessary for people to react and determine their own sovereignty. This is exactly what is necessary for people to decide, no, I don't want to be controlled. No, I don't want that. No, I feel, and it's that. So for me, I want to see this as something very positive in a way. It's exactly the tool that we need, like we need the confinement for people to be with themselves, for people to react, to say, no, I don't want that. No, I don't want to follow these rules. Now, it's really, for me, it was not difficult. I've always been a little bit rebel to authority, you know, so sure, I will not follow the rules because it doesn't make any sense. Inside of me, I am connected to my inner wisdom and inner and knowledge that is really deep inside. Why am I going to follow these stupid things? Because I know it's not right, you know?
Right.
So it's that. So this is exactly, and it's going to be stronger and stronger. Now we see what is going on in Europe, you know, with all the countries that are losing totally their sovereignty and all that. It's going to be stronger and stronger, pushing more and more. And now you have political parties that be together to push even more control on people and erasing France, erasing countries, you know, for people to react to that. We don't want that.
No, but that's why we really do need to pay attention to that so that we can really be awake to the way in which we are trying to be controlled and it is encroaching on our freedom. And if we look at what we're talking about, we start the conversation with the beautiful individuation of a woman and her journey, her evolution as a woman, you know, from the nubile young woman who is fit to receive and to get pregnant to women as we age and we become wiser women and our consciousness expands. And then we look at what's happening externally and we think this is so opposite of a woman's intuition. Our intuition tells us to love and to nurture and to be connected to the earth and to be healers and to be sages and mystics, you know, and that is what is most real to me. There's no doubt about it that that is what is most real. And then we've got all of this other stuff happening on the planet right now. Yeah. Every day we wake up, there's a new drama. There's a new drama. There's something crazy. Yeah. There's a war. There's, you know, who knows what. You and I talk about it.
I saw, because I don't have a lot of time, you know, I post things like that, but people send me a lot of things. But this morning I saw this Bill Gates again. Oh. How we can speak after 3 years and a half of what we know, how we can still promote these things. I'm like, I cannot believe it.
No.
We know that people change, that people are awakened. What is this thing? I thought it's so surreal. It's like,
it is surreal, Yasmina. It is surreal. It is totally surreal. I don't even want to hear these people's names because I think that they're crazy. And
I was wondering how we can still say these things after all what is unveiled since these last months and last year. And like it's unbelievable how we can dare to continue to go on this agenda.
That is the sentence we have to use as a mantra. How do you dare? Yeah. How do you dare to do this? And do we dare to believe it? No, we should not believe it. We should not believe it. We should not comply. We should not be sheep. We should be empowered. We are sovereign human beings on this planet.
Yeah.
And women know that. It is natural for us. It's inherent in our being to know that we are free. We're free to have babies. We're free to do the incredible gifts that we have as women. Women of all people on this planet should know better.
It's true, because we have this inner wisdom and knowledge about bringing birth on this planet, carrying life. Yes. So it's like you said, it's innate in us. It's like something that is part of us. It's so all these things that are bullshitting us, it's not possible.
And no, it's not possible. And I think as women, we really need to stay connected to, am I going against my intuition? Because our intuition is so divine. It is such a gift. Why would I go against my intuition?
Yeah, but you know, Aura, I'm thinking a lot about that. The thing is, the medium they use to condition, mind control people, it's collective now. It has been since decades about movies and entertainment and music and all that. And a lot of people are disconnected from the intuition. Even women are disconnected from their intuition because it has been like this kind of coating of all this, you know, pollution of the media, of the frequency, of the chemtrail. Everything is at work. And it's very hard for a lot of people to identify that when it's coming to them and how this can model them and to decide, no, this is not my thing, you know, I'm not under this thing. It's not acting on me.
But we hear this within ourselves. Why would we go against it?
Yeah.
Why would we go against what the voice, the guidance that we have within our heart, within our soul? We have to ask ourselves, why am I not listening to that? That is my divine wisdom.
Yeah. And it's quite, in fact, it's quite simple and immediate. When this is coming, we know immediately in our body if it's right or not. But often for fear or because they said it's better to do that or that for your safety, you know, and all that. So maybe, you know, but as I said to people now regarding health, now there is a tool that if you look around, you will find people who are working in bioenergy. If you have a doubt, if it's not sounding really clear, precise in you, go and check with a bioenergetician if that or that or that is right for you.
Right.
It's your essence who's going to answer. It's not the person that you're going to see. It's going to connect to your essence. Some people don't have this direct connection with themselves, and they can be helped by someone like that. So
yes,
this is something that exists in the night of time that we rediscover with quantum medicine now and all that, energetic medicine. Look around, search, go online, inform yourself, go and look for someone in bioenergy who can help you. Because this, more you're going to do this session, what's going to happen is that it's going to increase your ability to validate what you feel quicker and quicker. And you're going to be more and more centered with your alignment, with your center, with your energetic being, divine being. And more you're going to feel what is right. But at the beginning, maybe some people need some help for that.
That's fine. And yeah. I think that's a good suggestion, Yasmina, because I get people asking me a lot, how do I do this? Or how can I start this practice? Or how do I raise my energy level? You're right. There are people that can help people if they feel they need the help.
Because we are not alone on a lonely planet. We are with all of us around us that are all a little sparkle of that divine big network in the invisible, and people can really help us to, you know, be more and more clear, more and more, and it's for that it's really the tool of our time that we rediscover now, that shaman knew since the night of time, and we rediscover that, and we can be helped by people who can, and we're gonna, when we look for, it's coming.
Right. I was just thinking when you were saying that if you have a desire for this, you will be led, you will be guided to exactly where you need to be, and you will be connected to exactly who you need to be connected to. You just have to have a desire for it.
And it's like products. Some people say, yeah, but this is a good product. It's very simple. Go and have it tested, because you can take all these supplements and all these products that are supposed, a very good product can be not adapted to me and good for you.
Exactly.
It's not
exactly
because the product is bad. Right. It's just because my chemistry, where I am connected, I will say, to my whole being spiritually, maybe don't need that because it can interfere in my own process. So when you have duped about that, bioenergy, kinesiologists are good helper for that, to help you to, and more you're going to tune more and more to yourself, to know, to feel, oh yeah, reading something, oh yeah, this is right for me, or no, it's a no.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't mean that it's bad.
Yeah.
It just means that it's not for you.
Right. And the way in which you can go about doing that is, again, wanting it, having the desire for it.
The idea first about
it.
Yes. And for that, maybe it's because people don't have the information.
But today, Yasmina, you know, even you and I having this conversation, and we've had so many incredible conversations together, and we want to share more of it. You know, I saw a couple of messages of people saying you and I should have a podcast. And there is so much information to get today. There is so much to know. There's so much to learn. It's there for all of us if we tap into it and we desire it and we allow the guidance for it, and we can connect with people that are on the same frequency as us. And by even connecting with people that are on the same frequency, we can even raise our frequency together even more.
Sure. Sure. And there is no, because sometimes, you know, you can go look for something, meet someone, and after that you have a hard, difficult experience. It's not a problem. It's because you had to have this experience as well to increase your inner determination and discernment and all that.
Yes.
So nothing is wrong. It's just that you're going to be guided. Me, I've been, you know, I did some workshops and things long time ago. And it was like discovering after that the workshop I did like 35 or 40 years ago was connected to a sect. I didn't know about that, but I learned a lot in that workshop. Not to throw away, but I've not been indoctrinated, because at the moment I felt something was not right. Doesn't sound right to me. So I got what I had to get. And after I was on something else.
Right.
So there's nothing wrong. It's just experiences. And you can really let you go on that flow and be curious and investigate and go to unknown things, and just in a simple way. And don't judge yourself if you have an experience and it turns out that it's not really good. You learn a lot from that.
You do. And like you said, with your experience, what led you to that realization is you had a sense, your instinct, something within us. If we just listen to that voice, it will tell us the truth of what we need to know.
Yeah, it seems complicated, but it's not. Oh, I have real clouds I see there. There are real clouds these days.
I know, there are real clouds, and it's so beautiful. And we hope that it stays that way, because real clouds is what we are deserving of, is everything that is real right now. Do you know? And that's another thing to really align ourselves with. Does this feel real? Does this sound real? Does this feel authentic to me? What am I sensing? No, it doesn't. And if it doesn't, really pay attention to that. Do you know? I think that if we end this year and enter into the following year that's coming, we will guide ourselves, and we will be that much more crystal clear about what is real and what is not.
Yeah, 2024 going to be hard, you know. It goes crescendo. Beginning of 2020, I said it's going to be really hard, because I have friend astrologer. I spoke with them, and I knew that until end of 2025, it's going to go crescendo. It will not be easy, but we're going to go through. You know, it's time. It's really a huge spiritual growth crisis. We are really in that. So we have to be prepared, but without fear about that, because we have to know, and we can see since 3.5 years, it has been crescendo, more and more and more.
Yes.
But we had also more and more revelations. It's part of the process. So this is going to continue like that. And don't be scared.
No, fear is a big misleader.
Yeah.
Fear, when we function from fear, we are not thinking clearly. We don't make the best decisions for ourselves, and we're letting other people tell us what is real.
Yeah, I think what is important is to observe the fear.
Yes.
To observe it, to be aware of it.
Yes.
Take distance from that. Okay, there is a fear. Okay, what does this change in my life right now? Or what can I change in case of that thing? Or what can I develop?
Yes.
You know, it's a tool. It can be a tool of, it can be an help, instead of being something that stuck you. That makes
you don't want to get frozen in fear. You can acknowledge that you're feeling fear and ask yourself, what is it that I'm afraid of? What am I afraid of? Am I afraid of something that's in the future that isn't here yet? Is something that isn't even in the present time, and I'm already projecting into the future, and I'm anticipating fear.
Yeah.
So we're thinking about a time that isn't even here yet.
Exactly. And it's that what is going on is that if we stay stuck, like frozen, like you say, on the fear, there are chances that we create the subject of the fear.
Yes.
But when we observe the fear, and we can imagine how this can be a stimulation to develop, to create another reality instead of the reality of that fear, you know, the project of that fear. Now we start to change the reality globally. And it's what is at work. It's time for us as humans to realize the power that we have with our mind, connected with our heart and with spirit. And we are really creator with our mind. We create with that. The way we think is because people say, yeah, but I say, look at your mindset. Look how you think. The way you think going to create your reality.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We are manifesting our reality by the thoughts that we hold in our mind's eye.
Yeah.
You know, we have this idea, we believe it, and we manifest it outside of the mind's eye. So what are the thoughts that we are holding in our mind's eye that we believe are true?
Yeah, and this thought, how can we see them evolving differently?
Yes.
You know, how can we, I always said, imagination, it's image in action. As photographer, you know, I love video more than still, in a way. And I love slow motion because it obliges us to slow down and be more and more in the present moment.
Yes.
And there is a magic in the slow motion thing that make us being closer to the mystery that we are of life. Slow motion, like, this is my favorite thing. Maybe you notice in my video. It's like, and multidimension, when you use this transition effect where you dissolve and you go in another, this for me, it's a tool that really represents how I feel multidimensional, going from one state to another, flowing in between, because I have no words for that. I cannot describe that.
But look what you just said, Yasmina. That is the metaphor. We are constantly in transition.
Yeah.
We are always in transition, and nothing stays the same.
Yeah, we are mutant.
That's so, it's so beautiful. I mean, you talk about just the visual of that beautiful transition that you do with film. To me, it's a metaphor for life. It's that we are constantly in transition.
Yeah, and it's fantastic. I'm thinking a lot also about education these days. I've been contacted, maybe you saw, by one of my followers to an orphanage in Uganda.
Yes.
And I tried to find ways to raise money. I did a small collaboration, and I sent money to them and all that. And it's like this flow that we can create in between us. How can we just let flow? Take that. I don't know. I received the fabric yesterday. It's absolutely fantastic. It's made with bark of trees.
Oh, wow.
From Uganda.
Yes.
It's really fabulous. There are two different shades. The lighter is younger trees. The darker is older trees. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I don't know if I'm going to do something with that. But there is a connection. And again, there is a connection that is a waving in between culture, art, craft from another country.
Yes.
What can we do, create all together? When I hear about this thing about cultural appropriation, it makes me cringe, because I won the favor of native. And I have a friend native who said, I would love that more people wear our beautiful headset.
I agree. I think it's the appreciation of each other's cultures, and whether it's the rituals or the festivities or the adornment that different cultures do to their bodies, it's showing an appreciation of it.
Yeah, like you wear a kimono or you wear this beautiful kaftan.
Yes, because it's beautiful.
Yeah, and it's just honoring that. It's not something to, it's it's really weird how people can perceive this and call it cultural appropriation. This shows how they are narrow-minded.
I think there are people, Yasmina, that just are not comfortable expanding in their consciousness. You know, they need things to be very fixed. They need to stay in their, comfortable zone, their box. And if they step out of it, they're not comfortable. That's their business. I just don't think they should project it onto other people.
Yeah.
Do you know?
And what I wanted to say about education, now I am involved with two little orphanage, and I was thinking, what could be given at the education level to young children to be more aware of who we are as human beings, divine human beings.
Mm-hmm.
How the education system totally failed on that by power or control. It's about control,
Yes.
And how this could be changed, because children, they came from shorter time from that invisible world, so they are still imprinted with that. What could we bring to children to better be aware of who they are as sovereign being, and to don't cut their ability to express that through art, for playing,
I think including all cultures, I think diversity and inclusivity and equality and teaching and learning and sharing and experiencing. Young children should be able to experience all different types of cultures, taste each other's foods of the cultures which their, other children come from. To be able to learn the music and learn the foods and learn the cultures, the dances, the festivities, the celebrations, and really celebrate it.
Yeah.
Not just be in this little narrow reality that we only celebrate certain holidays. We celebrate, Thanksgiving. We celebrate all of these sort of very marketable holidays. And there's so much, it's a business. And there's so much that we don't celebrate very early on, when children are the most able to connect with each other.
Yeah.
And also, how I feel about mindfulness, which is something that I write about. Mindfulness is the awareness. It's being awake and being able to see and feel and understand what you're feeling and what you're thinking and what you're experiencing, and to be aware of it.
Yeah. And it's I'm thinking of that a lot, because if at little we were taught how human body is working properly, how it's perfectly organized, and how that, I think it will be easier. And to celebrate every single day in our little daily task, I love to use different dishes to make just a simple salad, and it feeds my soul. It's something simple. It doesn't cost a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And the process of doing that. And I was speaking with Andrew, with the teacher who was taking care of this orphanage there in Uganda. And he told me that they teach the children to make this fabric, to be able to perpetuate that.
Yes.
It's beautiful,
Yes.
So now I have things coming about this fabric, because many years ago I bought, I think in a thrift store or on flea market in New York, a tapa that is from Solomon Island, that is made with the same thing. It's what is back. Maybe you can see there on my wall.
Oh, yes. I saw that. I love that. That's beautiful.
It's the same kind of fabric. And the other side is painted with their cultural symbol, like birds and flowers. But I love the other side, where it's kind of abstract.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the same fabric. I'm amazed, because I was wondering mine is old, and I had another one who fell into piece because it was so old. And now I have the fabric. So I was thinking maybe I can iron, cut pieces, print on it. You know, I'm like,
your creativity
yeah,
is turning, which
yeah,
I love that
yeah. And
headspace.
all this because one of my followers, because grace of social media, one of my followers connected me to this young man, to this orphanage. And some days later, I saw a post, a reel, but there's nothing to see with him, of these people in Uganda who are doing this fabric. So I contacted Andrew immediately. I send him the reel. I say, have you ever see about this fabric? He said, yeah. And here I have, not than a week after, I have the fabric.
Beautiful. It'll be interesting to see. Yeah.
Of what we can share by this social media in a positive way.
And that's the most beautiful way for us to connect, is to connect with that, to connect from a place of, I want to share with you. I want to include you. I want to invite you. That's the way I want to experience social media, where it's inclusive.
Yeah.
And we're really inviting each other into the experience. I would love to see more of that in 2024.
Yeah. It's what I encourage people to do. Connect, because people say, oh yeah, but it's virtual. No. It's virtual maybe, but we created that tool at the Unconscious Collective to be able to connect together around the world and make a difference. Simply, you can connect. I gave the link. You can connect. Andrew give money to these kids. Last day, they got some money. They were so happy. They got 2 mattresses. They had no mattresses. Can you imagine such a thing? They got 2 mattresses. If you see the kids so happy to have mattresses. So we can make a difference. It's not a big thing, giving to a big organization that I never trusted. I prefer to be direct like that. I prefer and encourage people to let them guide it to that. They're going to maybe $10 or $5. It's already something.
Yes.
And make a difference in the life of people directly, not like, thinking we are all public utility. We can all make a difference at our own way.
Absolutely, Yasmina, we can, and we have every opportunity to do so. We really do.
Yeah. So, voila.
Voila.
Okay, I'm gonna go back on my computer. I am lost in this series. I am like, about, as I told you, primordial. And I started 15 years ago. And last year I had a revelation going in the thrift store. I saw this beautiful gold baroque frame that nobody wants because they cost nothing and it's like old-fashioned, and I was thinking maybe it's Tartarian. Tartary is really in the mood, a lot of posts about Tartaria, and I thought, oh, maybe it's Tartaria memory that is coming, that I want all these gold baroque frames. And
beautiful. I love that. I love that. Oh.
And one day I realized that, and suddenly I say, wow, came to my mind in the thrift store the image of primordial. So I did picture of the frame in the thrift store, and I went on my computer with my picture of primordial, and I started to frame them, with the picture I took. I said, oh, but this is amazing.
So beautiful.
And it's about recycling and taking old things and making something beautiful and attractive with something that was not anymore loved. And so I'm excited about this project, but now I have so many ideas, but I'm lost. I'm drowning in them. I have to settle down to, be aware. I have a huge printer, and my friend Oscar, who did the picture with me recently,
beautiful,
came a couple of days to help me to learn how to, because he's an amazing retoucher. We don't retouch our pictures, but he's an amazing beauty retoucher, and he helped me to know how to use this machine that is like, for me, complicated technologies. So now I know how to use this printer, And I'm like excited about that. But I have so many possibilities that I'm lost in that. So I don't know.
Well, isn't that a great place to be sort of swimming in a sea of possibilities? Isn't that the best place to be?
Yeah, and I say, oh, I would love to do a book. I would love to do that. I would love to do that. And this, oh, I can mix that. And now I'm in my old files and I rediscover pictures files that I even never looked because I do so many, you know? So I'm a little bit nauseous about all that,
Joe,
you know?
it's a great place to be. I think you've got to just go, and I so want to see what you come up with. I really do.
Yeah, yeah, I will
So
show.
2024, Yasmina.
Yeah, I have to find a place to exhibit. I have to find, I have so much work to do on that. I'm like, okay, we'll see what is going on. And as I cannot bring the nude in Thailand, it's forbidden. I have to do it here. So now I'm postponing my depart for Thailand to stay more here, be able to exhibit, to do my exhibition, you know?
I'm so happy.
So you see how things are changing. You have to be open to the.
Yes, because as we were saying, we're always in transition.
Yeah.
We're always in transition. Nothing is fixed. It's always in transition. So it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
And people could say, oh yeah, you are not focused. What is mean to be focused on something? You know, other things are coming the way and it's exciting. And
it is. It's fluid. It's constantly changing. And that's why people need to stop saying this thing where it's science, but it's science. No, science is always evolving and always changing. Nothing is fixed.
Yeah, and as women, we are receptive. We are like a ball.
We
are
accepting
all these things, and it's like the alchemy that is made in that, you know, short-run, cauldron. I don't know you say that, and who knows we're going to get out of that, you know.
Yes.
It's so it's bad. It's a time I'm drying out, going closer to the other world, and I'm so excited about new creations. It's like, yeah, I want to do that, you know. It's like, it's amazing. It's like giving birth.
It is that's the beauty of the creative process. It is, and I really do believe it's going into the mystical realm of creativity, which is boundless. It's boundless. There's so much there.
With all the books you wrote, I'm amazed every time. I think, I cannot believe how many books I wrote.
And I like what you're describing, the very creative process that you're describing so beautifully. That's how I write my books. I go into this space that has no boundaries. It has no end. And I allow myself to take that journey and just free fall into that journey to see what happens.
Yeah.
You know, that's how we create.
Yeah, it's fascinating, really.
It is. It's so beautiful. I can't wait to see all that's going to happen in 24 in the creative realm. That's where it's most beautiful.
Yeah,
you know, and
it's a year 8, and I am a year 8. It's my number. And I am 68, so I notice when it's the number of the year, so 2024 is a year 8, it follows the last number of my age. I'm 68, you know.
Beautiful.
So all my life has been like that, and people who are born on the same kind of numbers as the same thing. So there is a kind of alignment, and if you observe this alignment, just go and trust it. Even if sometimes it takes over direction, it's not because you are off-centered, it's just because you need to go a little bit there or a little bit there to grab something and to go back there and create more complete, you know.
Exactly.
And it's really a fascinating process.
It is. Well, here's to completely surrendering to the creative process.
Yes. Maybe it's the word to close this discussion and to close 2023. It's really allowing ourselves to go in that with what is going on, using that to create with our mind, and even in the physical world, something out of that, something beautiful.
Yes, to stay aligned with that is really important right now.
Yeah. Thank you, Aura.
Thank you, Yasmina. It's always so beautiful to spend time with you. I love it.
Yeah. I wish next time we'd be together and do a live like we're used to do together.
We will. Our next live, we will be together.
We can do it in beginning of 2024.
Yes, let's do it.
Okay.
All right.
Nice holidays and enjoy your trip. I know you're going to be a little bit away.
Yes.
Nature. Yeah. So,
yeah. Nature. Here we come, nature. Okay. Bye. Lots of love.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Voila. So I'm gonna try. It was quite long. I hope it will not be cut and I will be able to post it on my page. We've been on different crazy things, and I thank you very much. I thank you very much to follow and to watch and to be with us. And I wish you a very good end of the year. I don't know if I will be able to come back before 2024 first days, but I wish you to really enjoy your time with yourself and with your family and with your friends, and to want good to the world. And we can make a difference when we have this in our heart. So big kisses to everybody.